But it always starts with the person accepting that he has a problem or he has unproductive thoughts or mindsets. The only way you can pinpoint that out to someone is to look at the person's behavior. The person might sometimes have depression, or people are always complaining about what I do. Is there something wrong with me? That is when you can start what I call mind surgery, talking to the person that the problem is not really with you, but I think you have an issue you need to sort out. Then you expose the person to truth. The Constitution, which you call the Bible, says that, and you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you repeatedly submit and subject your mind to truth, I'm not talking about facts, I mean truth. And truth is not necessarily if something is true or false. It is how close you are to the original source. For example, in media, if I say something here and you go and report it outside, you would inculcate what you call reporter's speech, which changes the original statement I made. It's the same thing. You expose the person to original truth. And when the person begins to realize that, oh, I did this and that because I was exposed to a false information, then there's a reverse of the whole chain process.
Okay.
And the
so
person
you are talking
begins
about
to,
the deinstallation.
Yeah, uninstallation of what we have been exposed to. Yeah.
Mindset.
We're all
In
running
other
by
words,
programs.
We unlearn. We have to unlearn to
You have
learn.
to unlearn to, yeah, exactly.
And it's not easy. You know, one of the problems that we face in our country is doing the right thing only when we are supervised. For instance, the contractor who does our roads.
Yeah.
If the president or higher authority doesn't come to inspect, you realize that the road will be done so haphazardly, and maximum 3 months, you see the manholes, not even potholes, on the roads. But if they really know that, they will be supervised. They do the right thing. Look at, these are civil servants, those who work at the government agencies. What happens is that, I was telling you off camera, that they just enter, sign in, and then hang their suits on the chair, and then go and do their stuff. But when they hear the board of directors will be passing through, everybody will be seated and doing the right things. It's same in our homes, it's same in our churches and whatnot. How do we, weather these kind of challenges?
Okay. Let me just ask a rhetoric question.
Okay.
I don't think anybody goes to the washroom and ever enters. If, for example, I'll never enter a female washroom.
Okay.
Nobody's standing there to check whether I'm a male or female.
But I can assure you that if you are really pressed, you enter a female washroom.
Yes, but naturally, nobody does that, even though there's no policeman to check that. Why do we do that? It's because we know ourselves that we are male or female, and this washroom is wired to cater for male or female. It's the same thing with our working environment, or in Ghana as a whole. There's this culture coming up. For example, if it's time for break, we spend almost an hour for break. It feeds into the resource of the whole nation. How do we correct this?
How do we correct it? Very important.
It's not just about supervision, because like you said, the contractor knows that the president is going to come around at this time to supervise, and then he makes everything certain, he makes everything possible just to please the president.
Yeah.
But if we go beyond supervision and give what you call accountability to that, you must make people accountable to what work you've given them. If I know that at the end of the month I'll be held accountable for how many times I reported to work, I would be doing the right thing. And then I think recently you have a lot of workplaces implementing the use of CCTV cameras just to check the movement of people. If once you know that there's a CCTV camera around, you begin to be checked. Yeah.
Anyway, so next year is election year.
Sure.
What should be the mindset of the voter?
When it comes to elections,
so that they are not influenced by external, sources like with money and all that. tell us how they can, make up their mind. This is what has to be done. So let me do the right thing instead of being swayed into another direction.
I'll tell the truth. It's difficult when it comes to voting or politics in general in this country. And I think that if we want a solution ever, we have to start with the kids coming up.
Okay.
I don't see the reason why someone would go in for rice and oil and vote for somebody who doesn't really deserve it.
Okay.
I don't blame that person. I think the person has a pressing need, which has to do with feeding.
Okay.
So we have politicians who capitalize on that, and then they try to buy people's mind. But this is what I would say. Instead of just going to vote with your thumb, like I said, the mind is an organ,
Yeah.
which has a hand and has an eye. You must vote with a thumb that is connected to your mind. In other words, your conscience.
Okay.
Do you think that this person really deserves to be voted? Because trust me, next year, they will come back begging us. And if we vote for them, they leave us.
So in
at the
other words, we
mercy.
should look at our environment and then
Yeah, and our personal life.
think outside the box.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be going for a very short break, so you can catch your breath